low flame, and I'm adding a little bit of ghee here. So if you want to come around closer and see what I'm doing, please feel free. There we go. So I'm going to turn up that flame just a little tiny bit. So the only whole seed spice that we're using in making this is cumin seed. So I'm just going to put the cumin in the hot ghee, and you're going to hear it crackle a little bit. And if you come around close enough, you're going to see that it starts to turn color just a little bit. Okay, so ready. And then I put it in there. So it's not quite as hot as I thought. So I'm going to take a look there. So you can see it's still heating up a little bit. And then we should have it starting to crackle. Now it's starting to turn, it's starting to sort of bubble and crackle just a little tiny bit. And when cumin is roasted, it can turn actually a dark brown. You don't want it too dark, you do not want it to be black, but it has a very pleasant flavor. You can also dry roast cumin. See, this would normally be happening just a little bit faster. You can also dry roast cumin on a flat skillet and then ground it after it has been roasted. And cumin has a lot of good digestive properties. And I've got it. It's fine. It's just that I didn't have it preheated as much as I thought. It's a great stove. If you go to buy a stove, don't go cheap, because the difference in a good stove from a cheap stove is that a good stove can go to a low flame, and that's all important. You sometimes want to be able to have a low controlled flame. And now we've got our cumin seeds pretty much roasted, and I'm going to put in the chilies and ginger, and you can hear those sizzling a little bit. You should also be able to smell something. Can you all smell that? Can you smell some of that? The ginger and the jalapenos. Okay. And I'm going to put the chopped apples in. And now I'm going to turn up the flame just a little bit. Yeah, I think we're doing fine there. And now I'm going to add our powdered spices. Some powdered spices you can put in after putting the ginger and chilies, and I mentioned that in my little cheat sheet. Others, it doesn't really matter too much. Generally, powdered spices, you don't want them to be overcooked. Some, like cardamom, doesn't like to be cooked at all. Heat will destroy its good properties. I'm putting a little bit of turmeric. I'm putting also a little bit of nutmeg. I am opening a new container of nutmeg. How about that? So I'm just going to put a little bit in here. Nutmeg adds a very nice sort of balance, sweetness, harmony. You don't want to overdo nutmeg. It can be a little overwhelming. Cinnamon is a very good chutney spice. It goes very well with apple chutney. I sort of recommend in the proportions a little bit more cinnamon than the other spices. And finally, a small amount of cloves. Cloves also have a very good effect. They contribute to the sort of palate of sweet spices that go in the chutney. But you don't want to overdo it, otherwise it's going to taste like some medicine that your dentist puts in your teeth to make it numb. So I'm just going to stir this. So while we've got this cooking, I am going to move on to the preparing for the tomato chutney. So if you all can just swing by and take a look and see what it looks like having this in here, and you can sort of get a whiff of what we've got in here. So you can see